Welcome to The Explainer, where we love to take really complex topics and just boil them down into something you can actually use. Today, we're diving headfirst into Google's AI Essentials course to pull out the core skills you really need to know.
So get this. Last week, a YouTuber forked over $49 for this new AI course from Google, and then spent a solid 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours, grinding through all the material just to get a grip on the fundamentals. But you don't have to do any of that, because we've already done the work for you. We squeezed that entire course down to its most crucial takeaways, and we're going to cover them all right now.
Okay, so let's jump in. First things first, it is absolutely crucial to get this. AI is not just one thing. Think of it more like ice cream. The course says it basically comes in 3 main flavors.
And yeah, pretty much any AI tool you're ever going to run into is going to fall into one of these 3 buckets: standalone, integrated, or custom.
And this breakdown makes it so much clearer, right? You've got your standalone tools. Those are the websites you go to on purpose, like ChatGPT. Then there's integrated AI, which is kind of the secret sauce working behind the scenes in software you already use, like Gemini helping you write in Google Docs. And finally, custom AI. This is the super specialized stuff built for one very specific job, like helping a hospital detect sepsis with pinpoint accuracy.
All right, next up. And honestly, this is probably the single most important skill in the entire AI universe: learning how to actually communicate with an AI. It's all about mastering the perfect prompt.
So, the number one rule is you have to give it all the implied context. I mean, think about it. If your friend is a vegetarian and asks for a restaurant recommendation, you're not going to suggest a steakhouse, right? You just know better. That's implied context. And AI has none of that. It's like a brilliant baby. You have to spell out every single piece of information you think is obvious. And this slide just nails the difference it makes. A generic request like "help me with a salary negotiation" is going to get you a bland, useless, generic answer. But look at the context-rich request. You're giving it the ammo it needs: your past raise, your performance, industry data. Now it has the raw materials to build you a real, tailored, and way more effective strategy.
Okay, this next technique sounds all technical, but trust me, it's dead simple. It's called shot prompting. And shot is just a fancy way of saying example. So a 0-shot prompt has, you guessed it, 0 examples. A few-shot prompt gives the AI a couple of examples to follow, which basically acts as a guide for what you want.
And here's why that's a game changer. Asking for a pickup line with no examples is a total shot in the dark. You might check something incredibly cringy. But if you give it 2 examples that actually worked before, well, you're teaching the AI your style, your vibe, and you dramatically increase the odds that it's going to give you something you'd actually use. And finally, for the really big, complex jobs, you need to use a technique called chain of thought prompting. All this means is you take one massive request and you break it down into a series of smaller, bite-sized steps. So instead of throwing one giant, overwhelming task at it like this, which, by the way, almost always gets you a pretty mediocre result, you turn it into a conversation. You guide it step by step. First, write me a killer opening hook. Then, okay, great, now draft the body paragraphs connecting these skills to that job description. And finally, perfect, let's write a strong closing. By making it a collaboration, you guide the AI to a much, much better final product. But look, knowing how to talk to an AI is only half the story. To use these tools well and safely, you also have to know what they can't do. You have to understand their limitations. The course really hammers home 3 huge limitations we all have to watch out for. They can be biased because they're trained on biased human data. Their knowledge has a cutoff date, so they might not know about recent events. And the big one, they hallucinate, which is just a nice sci-fi way of saying they make stuff up. For instance, an AI might tell you this with total confidence. Sounds plausible, right? A lot of people believe it, but
It's completely wrong. It's Canberra. And this is the critical lesson here. You must always, always fact-check any high-stakes information. Never just take an AI's word for it when the details actually matter.
so after going through all that, you might be wondering, who is this really for? Who benefits the most from this kind of foundational knowledge? Well, this is for you if you're an AI beginner and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the noise. It's for you if you're a visual learner who likes seeing complex ideas simplified. And it's for anyone looking for a solid, structured way to start their AI journey, learning from the actual experts at Google. And if there's one thing you take away from this entire course, let it be this: Using AI effectively is not about becoming a tech wizard or learning how to code. It's simply about learning a new language. It's about learning how to ask the right questions, the right way, to get the results you want. And that's our breakdown. So we'll leave you with one final thought to chew on. Now that you know the basics of how to craft a great prompt, what's the first complex problem you're going to tackle with an AI step by step?